let's talk about teams that finish strong. Happens almost all the time that a team that doesn't perform very well up to Thanksgiving. I mean, Bill Parcells once upon a time said by Thanksgiving you learn you are what you are, or Thanksgiving is when a season starts. Well, for a lot of teams, the season is over by Thanksgiving as well. But some teams go on a nice run to finish up, save a coach's job, save a quarterback's job, save somebody else's job. Also, maybe take it into the following year and have a great year, right? Remember the Detroit Lions a couple years ago finished up strong, and then it keeps cascading even to this present day, right?
Or even Green Bay very recently as well.
Right. Yeah. So let's, for this Thanksgiving holiday, give people a glass half full of hope. Each one of us, Chris Brockman, TJ Jefferson, let's come up with a team that you think will finish strong in the 2024 season. We each have a candidate.
Not over.
Well, I mean, for these teams, the season is over for the playoffs.
Over, yeah.
But no, I appreciate the Jim Mora,
Playoffs?
Yeah,
We're
wow.
Playoffs?
By the way,
you're playing them all, man.
By the way, you can't get enough Jim Mora around the holidays.
No.
All right, Chris, which is the team that you're looking forward to?
Okay, I'm looking at a team that is 3-8. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to have a high draft pick, depending on how they finish. But I do think the schedule kind of lines up for them to finish strong. They won last week. I'm talking about the Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
They went into Houston last week in a spot where everyone thought they were going to lose. They put up 32 points and kind of has Houston on the ropes a little bit. You look at the rest of the schedule. They have a winnable game at Washington based on how they've been playing recently. Then they play Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and then another game against Jacksonville and Houston. Teams that are all kind of middling or have been a little bit of a disappointment.
I like it.
This year. You look at Will Levis, a lot of mock drafts have been expecting for most of the year Tennessee to take a quarterback at the top of the draft. However, Will Levis, as we know they took last year, has been playing well recently. His last two games, he's topped 280 yards in each of those games, thrown for 3 touchdowns. He looks strong. We know he's got a big arm. He's cut back a little bit on the turnovers and the kind of WTF plays that he had kind of at the beginning of his starting tenure. I think Tennessee has a chance here to finish up 3-3, 4-2 maybe at best, and kind of take new head coach Brian Callahan strongly into 2025.
Right, and then maybe have a cascade over to the next season. Will Levis can basically say, this is my gig here, and then it all clicks in. And they were, my AFC sleeper team that's been asleep for much of the first 11 games.
But they were a team, they spent in the offseason and free agency, getting Calvin Ridley and others.
Jerry Snead.
I think they got a good chance to finish strong.
TJ?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it out there. They're 4-7 right now. They're a better team than a 4-17. That's the Cincinnati Bengals. They've got winnable games finishing up this season. They're going to be tough. They got the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Titans, the Browns, the Broncos, and the Steelers again. But the bottom line is, guys, they got Joe Burrow. And when you got a quarterback like Joe Burrow, you're always in it, I think, Chris. And like he said, his window is his entire career. I think they will turn it around a little bit this year, but I think next year he's going to go in the season a year fully healed from his injury. You're going to have Jamar Chase. They got to pay this dude. He's going to keep dominating. I think, the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe in them because they got a quarterback that slings the rock like Avon Barksdale from The Wire.
Nice.
And when you have that QB, you are always in the game. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are my pick.
I didn't think it ended well for Avon, though. Spoiler alert.
Didn't, but for a while, he was living large.
And then here's where I'm going to go. This is the ultimate from rags to riches. I'm going to take the team currently number 1 overall on the clock. Ooh. And I know you were similar thinking too, Chris, when we were conjuring up this segment. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming off a bye, Trevor Lawrence is healthy, and both Bigsby and Travis Etienne are healthy, coming back in here. Two-headed monster. They can actually start playing some football games and feel good about themselves, starting with a Houston Texans game that I think they can win this weekend. And then, I know you think Tennessee can finish strong. Maybe they can finish strong against Tennessee. That's 2 games there.
Yeah,
home for the Jets, at Vegas, at Indianapolis. I could see them winning out even and taking that into next year. And that team that started 8-3, then had a terrible stretch that bled into this year, might end with a nice stretch, and then who knows? Maybe Doug Peterson saves his job. Now that is what we call a glass half full. All right, have a great Thanksgiving again, everybody. Isn't that a nice way to send everybody?
I really like this.
It's good tidings.
Rich.
Good tidings, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.